Hey folks, Orlando Prepper coming at you on another Monday evening. Don't look like there's a lot of folks here tonight. Either that or I'm having some problem with my software. That might be what it is. It's been a mess for I don't know how long. Looks like Michael's here, Lynn's here, appreciate it. Hickman Homestead, I know who that is, yeah. That's my friends over in Arkansas. Yeah, Rebecca and John, yeah. Hope John's not working late tonight. If he is, I hope he eventually gets to us. So, hope y'all doing well up there. The weather should be getting good up your way. Excuse me for a minute here. Looks like Michael's in Kissimmee. I hope you didn't have much bad weather there. Okay, looks like we're picking up a few viewers here now. So, things are starting to happen. All right, but I was surprised that Biggs didn't have a premiere tonight. I was looking forward to that. I wish she did. And plus, here's another problem we're having. A lot of prepper channels are having. When we schedule a live event like this, the notices that we put out is not getting to everybody. And I mean, I know Cynthia had one over there the other night, Saturday night, live at 8 o'clock. I never got a notice on it. And I've subscribed to her for I don't know how long now. But there's John. John's in the house.
Lori's
all right.
Thrifty Kitchen.
Lori's with us. All right. I'm glad she's with us. I'm glad she got through the storm too. I was really worried about you, girl. I really was.
Yeah, we talked about it quite often.
We prayed for you a lot because looks like it worked. Thank goodness. The man's listening to us. Michael's in the house, like I said, there he is. Kissimmee, Lake Nona area. Oh, he's down there where the money is. That man got some money right there. Tammy Joe. Hey, Tammy. Glad you're with us. Appreciate it. Hope you folks don't mind what I'm trying to do here with this channel. Trying to get back to the basics on this thing. People really need to know how to prepare for what's coming because it's coming like a locomotive. And you don't need me to tell you what's happening because you can look and see it yourself. If you didn't see it, you wouldn't be prepping, that's for sure. So thought I would talk tonight a little bit about the shortages we got coming that all the experts say is coming for sure. So
Karen C. is here from Brevard.
Karen C. All right. I appreciate you being here with us. Truly do. I'm glad you made it through the hurricane all right. I know you guys had some bad weather over there too. All my Florida folks, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but in this house, we were praying for everybody here. So thank goodness it worked. All of our family and loved ones are safe. Looks like all of my friends here are safe. So let's just get ready for the next one. That's all we can do is just get ready. But that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. But first, I want to drop a bit of news at you. The rail strike that they said was averted first of last month. No, it wasn't. The union for the rail workers voted it down today. So that's going to have an effect on our supply line down the road. If they don't get that thing settled, it's going to be a mess. It's not like we're not bad off enough as it is. We went to Walmart last week and there were no eggs, none, not one egg in the house. The meat counter was really scarce, really, really scarce. The canned foods are getting thinner and thinner every day. It's just looking terrible. But it's going to be even worse if this rail strike pops off. So let's hope that it don't. But the shortages that we need to really pay attention to, some of them we've been into for a while, like baby formula or female hygiene products. I did a little search today, and they're still saying that those are going to be in terrible short supply pretty soon. So if you need those things, get out there and get them now. But there's a few things on that list that they were saying is going to be very short that kind of surprised me. Things like popcorn and ketchup and mustard, little things like that. But we also got Thanksgiving coming up, and they're saying there's going to be a shortage of turkeys, which means the ones that are there are going to be expensive. That's another thing that happened last week when we went shopping. For the first time ever, we spent over $300 buying just the staples. There was no excess there. We didn't even buy meat. I mean, the only thing we bought as far as meat went was sausage. We bought some sausage, but not a lot of that. But prices are going through the roof. Supply is getting low, and we need to get out there and get it if you really need it, folks. Get it right now because it's only going to get worse. A couple other things. I got a list here. Probably the worst one for a lot of us is beer. Beer's going to be in short supply, and bread, of course, because they're saying the wheat harvest is terrible. But that's no real surprise right there. We knew that was coming with the problems over in Eastern Europe and the drought and problems we're having here in the United States. Wheat harvest is terrible this year. So anything that has wheat in it, there's going to be a shortage. So get out there and get it while you can. Butter. Butter's another thing on this list. There were 13 items. I'm not going to run them all off here. I'm just, it just surprised me. Halloween candy. We got Halloween coming up. They're saying there's going to be a candy shortage. So if you got trick-or-treaters in your area, get out there and get that candy now because it might not be there at the end of the month. And if it is, it's going to be more expensive. We know that. Prices are going up more and more every day, and it's ridiculous. That $300 we spent last week, man, that kind of shocked me. It really did. What I want to do, I think we should do, I don't know, do you still have the receipt from that when we went shopping last week? All right. Mm-hmm. Next time I go shopping, I'm going to buy the staples.
I do. I have it where I scanned it on that app.
All right. Yeah, you do have it. All right. I do have it. What I want to do is put that aside for a month and then go back and see what the price difference is. Found butter on sale a couple of weeks ago. All right. Just let everybody in your area know where it is.
Tell them about the potatoes at Publix for 60 cents a piece.
The dehydrated potatoes. If you have Publix in your area, they're on sale for buy one, get one this week until Thursday? Wednesday. Okay.
It's tomorrow and Wednesday.
Until the day after tomorrow. Buy one, get one. The normal price is $1.25, so you're paying 62.5 cents for a pack of dehydrated potatoes. And I actually like the taste of those potatoes. They're really good. And the butter shortage they're talking about, hit up Amazon and look up Augustin Foods butter, powdered butter. They put it on sale sometimes for a really good price too. And it makes a lot of butter. I know some folks that's got some cans of that. So scarf it up every chance we get. But just be careful and watch what's going on in your shopping area. Watch your prices. Don't know when this madness is going to end. I'm not going to get into that because it falls into politics, and I'm not going to do that anymore. But let's move on with what I wanted to come here and talk about tonight.
Cynthia's here.
She is. I don't see her over here.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
What's wrong?
But she must be on vacation or something.
Yeah.
But let me go on to what I was wanting to talk about here tonight. After the situation down in Southwest Florida a couple of weeks ago, all the folks down there, they're still finding bodies in the rubble and pulling, bodies out of water. It's still a mess down there, but they were all told to evacuate. Excuse me. But they didn't. And when you get that evacuation order, you really need to get out of there. You really do. Pittsburgh's in the house.
They had trouble finding water.
Had trouble finding bottled water. Oh, wow. Luckily, we don't have that problem down here. So hopefully that'll resolve itself up there. Don't know why you're having that problem, but hopefully if you don't have a way to purify water, you will find a way, get you one. You really do need to get you a water purification system. Or find out how you can do it with just bleach, just regular bleach. If you got any questions about that, shoot me an email, theorlandoprepper@gmail.com. I can tell you how to purify water with just plain bleach, how to clean it, process it, whole 9 yards. If you want to know, shoot me an email and I'll send that information back to you. But let's get back to this bugging out here. Another thing that I thought was kind of strange was today, the National Weather Service issued another flood warning for Samford, Florida, folks along the St. Johns River. So be on the lookout if you live in that area. I know that's a low-lying area, and that's a big-ass river. So if it floods, it's going to be a mess. But keep your eyes out if you're in that area. But going along with that is the bugging out. The people down in South Florida, they should have left their homes. But I guess that's beating a dead horse now. They know what they should have done. And hopefully you folks learned from it, because it impacted a lot of people there, and it's terrible. But I did 2 videos this week on grab and goes. A food supply, 2-week food supply in a grab and go bucket was the first video. And the second one was the equipment you need to cook it, if you have to cook it, out somewhere on your own. It's really not a hard process. A couple of solutions were, a little fire pit I have, and just a little metal grate. It's that simple. But go check those videos on my channel. It'll give you a good idea of what you need for a couple of weeks worth of food and how to prepare it. Also have water purification in that second video. I show a little hand pump that I carry, a little Catadine Vario trail pump. You might want to get one of those if you can. But just straight up, it showed you 2 weeks worth of food, what you need to prepare it. So go check those videos out. I'd appreciate it. But if you're bugging out, the biggest problem most people have when they bug out is they didn't plan ahead. And, a lack of planning is just planning to fail. That's, right there. Failing to plan is planning to fail. It's that simple. You can't just take off from home in the middle of a disaster and hope you can find somewhere to go. You have to determine if you're going to be, on the short term away from your home or long term. Short term, we're talking like just a flood, a flooded area. Like they're saying up in Samford right now. If you think you need to leave, you're not going to be gone too long. So you don't really need to plan a whole lot as far as long-term food or clothing or shelter or whatever. You might want to just go to a hotel or go visit family if you got family in the area, or, just something that simple when it's a short-term problem. So that is probably the best situation you can have as far as bugging out, is with something like that. But you still got to plan. You got to make those plans, guys. You got to say, okay, we're going to this hotel, and if that one's full, we're going to that hotel, or we're going to see this relative, and go talk to that relative about it. Don't just show up on their doorstep. You got to plan for it. So that's the easy bug out right there. It really is. So the hard one is the long-term bug out. We're talking things like even the people in South Florida, their homes are destroyed. They're gone for a long time, but they're in no real threat like in a SHTF situation. So if it's an SHTF situation, there are several factors that you have to consider. I mean, so much going on. If it's a real bad thing like an economic collapse, or, let's say Putin loses his damn mind and he lobs a bomb over on New York or Washington. Washington's just hoping for too much, I guess. But, or the little Korean guy dropping one over in LA. But I mean, it's so far away from us here, but it's going to impact everybody in the country. And it's going to be a terrible situation from the start. So you need to make those long-term plans, because even something that simple could cause, a society to go crazy. But there are a few factors you need to figure. Right off the bat, if you do have to grab that bucket of food and take off on your own, remember that you can't trust anybody. Every stranger you meet is a potential problem. And they're thinking the same thing if they're smart. You're a potential problem. So the best thing to try to do is avoid strangers if you are having to get out and travel on a long-term bug out. If things go bad, society goes sideways, you never know what somebody's doing or thinking. It could get bad real quick. Another thing you got to consider is this right here. The people in charge, the authorities. They're not all good guys. And even if they are, they might be following orders from somebody that's not a good guy. So try to avoid authority figures at all cost. Me being a retired police officer, I can tell you that from firsthand experience. I was given orders to follow that I just wouldn't do it. I told them I wouldn't do it because it might not have been illegal, but it wasn't ethical. And you're going to run into that in a serious situation. But these guys are thinking, okay, I got a job, I'm secure, I got to take care of myself and my family, but just avoid them. If you can, avoid them at all cost. Trust no one and avoid authority. That's two real easy, quick factors that you should always have in your mind. But you should also have a way to protect yourself. If you do have to bug out, even in a short-term situation, and you're going over to Cousin Bob's over there, you need to make sure you have something to protect yourself with. Even though you're around people that you love and you trust, you never know what's going to happen on the way over there. So make sure you have that as well. You got to be able to protect yourself wherever you go. If you do have to go bug out on say, a piece of land somewhere, say it's a total collapse of our society, and you feel like you're under threat in your little suburban home there, and you want to get out away from the city, you have to know who owns that land that you're going to. These plans need to be made in advance. You need to figure out your route there, exactly where you're going to go there, who owns that. You also need to know the resources there. Is there water there? Is your food going to be, you're going to be able to hunt or something like that to replenish your food? The resources are very important, especially if you're out and, like I said, you're in the middle of a situation where everything's gone to hell. You're trying to get away from it. You got to live beyond the next week or two. You got to make sure all of those resources are there for you to replenish your food supply, get water, just simple things like that. A lot of people don't even consider that. I mean, right now, millennials think food comes from the store. They don't know shit about gathering food or growing food, but you don't want to get caught up in that situation. Can you build a shelter if you have to? I mean, I'm sure everybody here has a tent or a camper or something like that they're going to take with them if they have to bug out. But, for those of you that don't, can you build a shelter if you have to? Shelters are not that hard to build, and you really need to try to, get out there and practice that. I used to do that occasionally. I'd go out on the trail and I'd make me a shelter, something like this right here, a little lean-to like that right there. Cover it with leaves and, sticks and stuff like that. But you got to know these skills, guys, if we ever get into a bug out situation, a serious bug out situation. You're not thinking about it now because everything's nice and peaceful and everybody's fat and happy. But if you're watching what's going on over in Ukraine, The United States keeps pushing and keeps pushing and keeps pushing. And it wouldn't surprise me if Vladdy over there decides he's going to do something about it. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. So you might want to think about what you would do if that ever happens. Bugging out might not be the best thing to do. We're going to talk about bugging in next week. Come back next week. We're going to do a thing about bugging in, show you how to protect yourself from like nuclear fallout or marauders or whatever. We're going to touch on that next week. But this week we're talking about bugging out. And you have to just remember that wherever you go, you have to be able to live there if it's a long-term situation. So get out now, plan your route, go find that spot. Check out that area. Is there wildlife there? Do you have the means to secure that food supply if you have to? Where's the streams? Where's the lakes, creeks, whatever, to replenish your water? Do you have the ability to clean that water? These are the things that you have to do. Right now would be a great time to do it. A lot of people, like I said, they're just not thinking about it. Yeah, don't trust anybody. That's right, Michael, unless it's somebody you know personally very well or a loved one. You don't trust anybody. Lockdowns up north a couple of years ago. Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that. When we went through the COVID thing, we were all locked in, but thank goodness it didn't get too bad. Purple's in. All right. Purple's in's in the house. Glad you made it. Rather you be late than not here at all, believe me. That's for you, sir. Thank you.
Lori said she lives near an Air Force base that might have to bug out. Is that?
Well, a lot of our Air Force bases are going to be targets.
Right.
It all depends on which one you live by. Some of them's not going to be. I don't think, honestly, all the experts are saying that, any military base is a target. Well, that's true, but you got to figure out how high up on the food chain they are. If you're near MacDill, yeah, you got to get the hell out. They're going to drop one on you. It's like us right here. We're pretty close to Cape Canaveral. If it goes nuclear, we're probably going to have to go somewhere else.
Because of Patrick.
Well, you got Patrick and Cape Canaveral. Both of them are military installations. And those east winds that come in off the ocean every day, they blow right over our head every day. So that will not be a good thing if that happens. I hope it don't. I don't think myself that it will. But if it does, we're going to try to be ready here. And if we do have to bug in, I'm going to show you next week how to protect yourself if you do have to bug in. Hopefully the explosion won't get you, unless you're within about 25 or 30 miles of the impact. You're not going to feel any of it. It's just going to be fallout that's going to get you. And that's always the biggest danger from a nuclear attack. Not close to any major Little Rock Air Force Base. Yeah, you're probably okay there. Little Rock's not a major target. You're right.
Next to Tampa, the one next to Tampa.
Yeah, that's MacDill. Yeah, that's the one next to Tampa is a target. I can tell you that right now. But I think I'm probably in more danger here, being close to Patrick Air Force Base and Canaveral Air Force Naval Station. That MacDill might be a target, but it's a big one, so you're going to have to be careful over there. Make your plans. Where are you going to go? If you hear that, if you see that notice on your cell phone or on your TV, where are you going to go? You need to work that out tomorrow. Decide where you're going to go, map out your route. If you're going to visit somebody you know, contact them and let them know, hey, just in case. The way things are going in Russia right now, you never know. But just in case things really get bad, I'm coming to your house and make sure it's okay with them. But if it's Lori, I know she's going to bring a bunch of yummy food and they're going to want her there. So. If they don't want you, come see me. Pack up your car and come on down. All right. Nobody cares about Arizona. Who said that?
Arkansas.
Oh, my goodness.
Rebecca, I said I care.
I'll care next year when they play Florida.
That's Arkansas.
I know they play Florida next year. I say Arizona?
You said Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry. Arkansas. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll care next year. Hit me up about mid-October next year. Food is always welcome. That's right. You're damn right. It's good food. And I know Lori can cook. I've watched her cook. If you hadn't gone over there and watched her videos, you need to get over there and watch them. She's on the ball, buddy. Lori's Thrifty Kitchen Pantry. That's where you need to go to check out some recipes and some good old Southern cooking, because that woman right there can do it. But like I said, if you haven't made those plans, make them tomorrow. Map out where you're going to go. Figure out where you're going to go. Map it out. Actually, drive that route. Or if it's close, walk it. Whatever you want to do. But if there are people that you're going to bail out to, make sure you contact them. Let them know what you're planning. And, offer them the reverse, let them tell them, if it gets bad here, you can come to my place. And that's kind of a swap off.
Rebecca wants to know realistically, how long would you have to bug out if there was a nuke?
Well, if it was in New York or California, which is probably the most likely, you'd probably be good sitting where you are and just staying informed. That's another thing that would be major in a case like that. We know that New York is a media center, a media capital of the country. Get you some radios, folks. I can't tell you enough about radios. Get you a good shortwave radio where you can pick up every frequency in the air. But if it's somewhere close, you're probably going to have just a few hours. If you're within 25, 30 miles of an impact, that fallout starts falling probably within an hour. That's what will kill you if the impact doesn't. The explosion doesn't get you. The fallout will. It's dust. It's radiated dust. And it'll start falling real quick. It's going to be way high up in the atmosphere initially, and it's going to take it a little while to get back down to Earth. So, you need to get out quick if that's the case.
How much notice do you have?
Well, that's up to
the government.
Yeah, that's up to your emergency services in your area. I'm sure if it is an impact, then you're going to know about it within minutes. You're going to get an EBS notification on your phone, and probably all over your TVs. The way we're connected now through communications, through our cell phones, our radios, our TVs, whatever, you're probably going to get it instantaneously. Sons in San Diego, please pray for our kids in the military. Absolutely, I pray for them every day. My son did 2 tours in Iraq. So I know how you're feeling right there, buddy. I used to review every news site out there when he was overseas and make sure that, where he wasn't attacked. I pray for you. I pray for your son, and I appreciate him defending this country. So everybody out there, give that man's son a prayer and thank him for it. There's so many right now that won't do it. It's ridiculous. Our military is less than 0.5% of our population. And there's no way they can defend this country if they ever have to. It's impossible. That's why we have to this is the one political statement I'll always make. See them flags behind me? We have to have a Second Amendment. The founding fathers knew when they created the Second Amendment, the greatest army in the world is the one that protects its homeland. So as long as Americans are armed, we're going to protect our homeland. Really didn't want to get into politics. Sorry about that. But if you got any questions, if there's anything you would like to see me talk about here or do here, I'll be glad to do it. Shoot me an email, theorlandoprepper@gmail.com. I'll try to work it out for you. Purple's in, tell your son. Old redneck boy in Florida's praying for him, and I appreciate him. Greg's in the house. All right. My man. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming. All right. I'm still trying to get Rebecca to start her own YouTube channel. That woman can cook too. She made some bread a couple weeks ago, man. Oh my goodness, that looks so awesome. And she canned up a lot of pork this past weekend. I bet that's going to be awesome too. All right, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I've taken up enough of your time. I appreciate you being here tonight. Nobody came in until really late, and I was kind of worried. Honestly, I was kind of worried. I already told Lady Prepper over there, don't look like we're going to have to work tonight. But
yeah, this is hard work.
You don't. All you see is this. You don't see all the research I do.
I know.
But if you got any questions, comments, whatever, appreciate it if you send them to me. Or just leave a comment here. When this is posted as a video, I think they do it tomorrow, something like that. Leave your comments down there. I'd appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I mean, hey, Michael, I love you guys being here. I appreciate you guys being here with me. I really do. I like to come on here and give my opinion on a few things. Hopefully I'll help somebody out. A few little tips I gave you there about bugging out. Really, folks, if you don't have a plan about bugging out, get you one together, especially with all this stuff going on with Russia right now. Our president said that we were closer to a nuclear exchange than we have been since 1962. I remember that. I'm old enough that I remember the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. Wasn't pretty. I don't think he was right, but if it does get that bad, it ain't going to be pretty, believe me. So get that plan together. Take care of yourself, folks. Stay strong. Pray for the people in Florida. Pray for the United States of America. And as bad as I hate to say it, pray for Joe Biden, because that man, he don't know what he's doing, but we need him to get some kind of mental capabilities to be able to protect this country. With that, the Orlando Prepper is out.